Simon Sims is a Kenyan musician and sensational Glasgow busker. Last year, he was on The Voice UK representing Scotland and Kenya. In fact, you were representing Africa and went through to the first round in the competition. He impressed the blind audition coaches with his rendition of Ed Sheeran's uplifting African-inspired song "BBANMS," which he wrote with Fuse ODG and is sung in one of Ghanaian languages, Twi. Simon emerged powerfully in the blind auditions, but where does his journey to the UK #1 talent show began? Before we hear the answers to that question, first let's listen to the Simon Sims version of BBANMS. Wonderful. That is Simon Sims' version of Ed Sheeran's very uplifting African-inspired song "BBANMS," which Ed Sheeran wrote this with Fuse ODG. If any of you can remember when Afrobeat just started, Fuse ODG is one of the OD or OG of that genre of music, and he sang in mixture in Twi, which is a Ghanaian language. Interestingly, Simon Sims now joins me in the studio. It's wonderful to have you. Can I just say, Simon, we announced you last week, but you couldn't. You were not able to make it because you were down with the cold. But it's good to have you in the studio. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you so
much. Excellent, wonderful. So your music journey is fascinating because you started as a child, isn't it? So talk us through that.
My name is Simon Sims, and I'm from Kenya originally.
Yes.
But my music really started when I was about 12 in a school choir. I'm from Kenya, and education is not for free.
Yes.
So there's this amazing couple from Scotland actually that started a charity school, and I was able to go there, and they started a school choir, and I was part of that group, the Singing Children of Africa. She used to bring kids in the UK to sing and fundraise for the school back in Kenya. And I think my interest and passion for music started from there.
Wonderful. Yeah. So your passion and interest, and the African children choir is also a well-traveled group, isn't it? Because you've had experience traveling out of Kenya with that group, and I think how many were there in the group?
So when we started, when I was about 12 or 13, we used to be like 25 kids, and then about 3 or 4 adults that would come along to just sort of look after us when we were on tour. And it was beautiful. It was an experience for me, or for us as kids from Kenya, to be able to travel out of the country. It was like a dream come true.
Absolutely. And then you ended up living in Scotland, in Glasgow now, and you busk around. I think quite a few people will know you on the street busking. And how did that journey? How did you make the choice of coming to live in Scotland?
So after completing my high school studies, I went back to Jolorabi, which is a school that I went to.
Yes.
To work as a music teacher, and I worked with the Singing Children of Africa as a music teacher.
Wow, okay.
So that was very very good, but at some point I needed to do something for myself.
Yeah.
So I got a job in Devon.
Okay.
Places,
in Devon, in England?
In England,
okay.
And I worked there for 1 year, but I didn't do anything related to music, which was quite strange for me because I'm a very musical
Yes, and as a child, you've always been growing up with music.
Yes, so. But I was very much humbled because I worked in the kitchen for 1 year. And then COVID started, went back home and applied for another course in Scotland.
Okay.
And that's how I managed
that for kind of personal development?
Yeah. And my friend Patrick introduced me to busking because it was during this heavy lockdown season when everybody was so stressed and depressed. And he said, you know what, let's go out, let's go cheer people up. And I didn't really know.
And your friend Patrick is a busker, or
he does like busking as evangelizing, as a way of evangelizing.
Okay.
So
yes.
Because I'm a Christian, and we did a lot of that, and that's how I remember I started singing with him, and there was hardly people there, but when I started singing, there was a very good reaction. People were, they were giving lots of money, and I was like, this is
Wonderful.
good.
Busking is wonderful.
This is wonderful. So it just sort of grew up from there, and I knew this was exactly what I wanted to do.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah. And then I moved to Glasgow because we used to busk in Paisley.
Okay.
It's a very small town. There's hardly people there.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Glasgow, I just fell in love with busking, and it's been the best thing.
The reaction, the friendliness, the people make Glasgow brand actually worked in your busking. And is that the reception you get every day, or?
Yes, surprisingly, yes. When I busk, it's like I'm new there every time. I meet up new people, and there's people that come a long way to come and see me. There's so many buskers in Glasgow. Obviously, they're very, very good, but to be able to, have good reaction from people, or people telling you, I've traveled all the way to come and see you.
It's a blessing.
It's such a blessing. And every day I busk, I feel like I'm meeting new people every day, and the reaction is absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful.
Wonderful. Now we go the voice. So what made you to make the choice to go on The Voice?
The Voice. I didn't make a choice.
Okay.
Caroline, who runs the Buskers of Glasgow page on Facebook.
Right, yes.
She does an amazing job. She films buskers and puts them online, and if you're good, you get gigs, and you get so many opportunities through that. She posted one of my first videos, actually. I think I was singing Tennessee Whiskey and I'll Never Fall in Love Again by Tom Jones. And it sort of went viral on Facebook. And I think there's people called talent scouts online.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
And I remember getting a call from, this random lady, and said, we are casting for Britain's Got Talent, because that's what came first before The Voice.
Yeah.
And would you be able to? I was like, yes, please. So I did, my online auditions and everything. That's how you start. You do online auditions, because it was during heavy lockdown as well.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of that, but I was not able to go through because of my visa situation at that point.
Right. Okay.
But after a few months, I got the voice call again. So it was like...
So you were popular now.
I was popular.
Very popular.
Things are working out so well.
Yes, at the very, very top of entertainment, basically.
Yeah, it was really... It was very, very nice. I felt so good to be able to, For me, it was like, I've never done these things before, so I'm not going to be, nervous or anything. I'm just going to go for it, because you never know. So the voice came through, and it went successful. And obviously I did my blind, but before the blind audition, there's like a process.
The process
where
is
you sing online, you go sing for the producers in Manchester, and
just tell. Yes, I mean, let's talk about the process of you before you go on the live show on the live show before we watch it on TV.
Yeah.
So just talk us through that process, just in case there's somebody aspiring to go in there, or perhaps they're worried about. Let them know the process.
Yeah. The process actually is not. It's not that difficult. You cooperate with them, and everything works out perfectly. Obviously, I don't know if it was because of COVID or that's just how they do it. I don't know. But for my case, I had to do at least 2 auditions online. Like they organized a Zoom meeting.
A Zoom meeting, yeah.
And I was able to sing for vocal coaches. And then they don't tell you you've gone through.
No, they don't? Okay.
They always tell you, Thank you so much, Will. You'll get.
Oh,
to
that's
hear
it. They don't need no feedback.
Nothing back.
Okay.
You'll get to hear from us if you've gone through. All right, okay. Thank you so much. So you wait and wait. You wait and wait, and then after that, they also do another Zoom interview, and then obviously,
apologize for that.
If you've gone through, they call you and say. You've gone through, now you can come to Manchester.
So basically, when you've done that kind of you've done the Zoom auditioning, and you go to bed, you don't know whether what has happened, whether you've done well or until you get a call.
Until you get a call.
Yes.
And
if you don't get a call, that's it.
If you don't get a call, you get an email to say thank you for participating. Try next time. But yeah, I did get a call, and they said you can come to Manchester to audition to perform for the producers.
Okay.
So it's not on TV, but it's just like for producers.
Yeah, for producers, basically in a room.
In a room, and you're competing against so many talented people out there.
Wow.
But
so they invite all the other talents.
All the other talents, but you don't get to see them.
Okay.
And this is the good thing about The Voice. They have a strategy, and it's very organized.
Wow.
So they call maybe 5 people to come and sing at that specific time or different timing as well.
Okay,
so when I was there, I was only able to meet, I think, 2 people. And I was like, are these the only people that I'm competing against? But they had a strategy. So other people
they will pick out the best from different cohorts, perhaps. That's what they would do. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy. Yeah.
And then after that, you don't get to hear from them because they also say, thank you for coming. We'll see you next time if you've gone through. And I'm like, damn it.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now at that stage in time, until when you hear, you get the phone call that you're coming through again for at what point do you get to go to the studio, for us to be able to watch on television? Yeah.
So after that,
is that stage 3?
Stage 3, they take a long time, and for me, I think I'm a very patient kind of a person.
Yes, but I remember our conversation that you told me that you might have a chance to be on The Voice, and I said we'll pray for you. We're hoping that, fingers crossed, you go on it. But that was it took about a year before you went on before the show actually came on.
Yeah. It was oh gosh.
Yes. We spoke in 2000. Well, we spoke about it in 2002 when in the studio when you came the first time, and then we had a chat, and then you say because I asked you what's the plan, and what's it, you say you're hoping that this will be a positive outcome, and then you'll be able to go because you've already been through the process. So you were just waiting to see whether you'll be on the live show. 2002, then 2003,
2020.
2023, 2022.
I was
my God, 2002, you're a baby then, isn't it? 2022. We spoke about it. Then 2023 is when you actually went on the show.
Yes.
And so that took about a year. I think the essence and the importance for this conversation is just for other aspiring talent from our community or who might be listening should know that patience is a big thing. You talked about patience there. So you were very patient.
I was very patient. When I when I went to Manchester to audition for the producers, I sort of I was like, I'm just gonna get this out of my mind and focus on other things, because when you're patiently waiting for something, it becomes
anxiety can come in. You don't want to post. Exactly.
So at one point, I'm at a KFC because I love KFC. I was at a KFC.
Who doesn't like chicken? Every black man likes chicken.
Every African loves chicken. I'm in a KFC and I get this unknown call, and I was like, oh gosh, what is this? So I picked it up, and it's you get contact people on The Voice, and and this a lady says, I'm calling from The Voice. And I'm like, have I gone through? And they're like, yes, it's good news. You have gone through, and we are gonna, sort, your travel and accommodation and everything, so you can come to Manchester for rehearsals. And
so Manchester is where they record.
Manchester is where the audition, the blind audition.
The blind audition happens live. Okay.
So yeah, I was so excited. I remember I was like, oh gosh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for this. I was crying on the phone.
Oh, man.
And the lady was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. You've worked hard for it. We are looking forward to seeing you. She hangs up the phone and I'm like, yes. And everybody in the KFC restaurant is like, is he okay?
What? Yeah.
So,
you did go on the street like, I'm better!
Because they also want you to keep it very discreet. Like, you cannot say it to anybody that you're doing the voice.
Yes.
You have to keep it shut for almost a year.
Oh, you don't have to. When they tell you that you're going to come on the show, you don't have to tell anybody.
No, you are not allowed.
Okay.
You are not allowed to put it anywhere on social media.
Don't post about it.
Don't talk about it to anyone.
Publicize it like,
No. They will tell you when to say
do that. Okay.
But it took a year for them, to come, because this is a spoiler. Our show was not live.
Right.
It's usually filmed before.
Yeah. Well, we I think
you figured that out.
Yeah, I figured that out. Yes. Yeah. But I think what I mean by live, and which is the context that in most of the time people watching programs, they don't know that even Match of the Day is filmed earlier.
Yes.
So those, when you're watching it at that time at 10 p.m. it's when they're broadcasting it.
Yeah.
That's a transmission time, so it's live for us,
Yeah.
for those that are watching. But I understand that the behind the scene work. So go ahead. So you filmed and then you're waiting to watch.
Yes. So they call you for rehearsals. So you go there and work with the band, the voice band.
The voice band,
so
yes.
Amazing band. So obviously they choose a song for you and say, this is a song you're gonna sing.
Is that
blind audition.
Is that the production team?
The production team, they reach out to you and say, this is the song we think it's gonna suit your voice.
Yeah.
And when they gave me BBANMS by Ed Sheeran, I had no clue what that song was about, who sang it, and I said, it's not for my voice. And they were like, oh, we think it's gonna suit your voice. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, I worked with them, and they give you a freedom of exploring your voice,
with the song,
with the song.
Okay.
And if you want to add something into the song, and so every bit I put in that was like an idea that with my voice, I wanted to explore my voice. I wanted to show what I was capable of.
Can I just say you did a fantastic job, because I've listened to the original. As I was saying to you earlier, off microphone, I've never heard that song until you sang it on that show. And then I was like, wow, what song is this? I remember when the show is broadcast, and then I think about a week later, I sent you a text message to say, wow, that song was wonderful. And then you said to me, that's a Ghanaian song, isn't it? Then I went like, what's a Ghanaian song? Give me the song title. I watched the video back to back. That's my wife, she will tell you. I watched it back to back in the house. Wow. And then I was like, that's my guy doing this stuff, but I need to know where this song is coming from. That's Simon's original stuff. Because I initially thought it was your original, your stuff. So it's only when you, at the end, that when you replied to my message, and I thought, okay, let me check the song out. Because on the show, they actually did not mention that.
They did mention the singer.
Yes. Singer. But and then it's my finding that I saw, I noticed that, I realized that, it's done by Ed Sheeran, because it's not one of Ed Sheeran's songs that's out there and massive. But you did a wonderful job. So talk us through when you are there, and then do you get to meet the judges before at any point?
No.
Not in rehearsals?
Not at the rehearsals.
You don't get to see where I am?
No. On the rehearsals, you get to work specifically the band,
with just the band,
and a vocal coach who is there to make you warm up and prepare, or say ask the vocal coach what you want in that particular song. And I was very.
How long is that process? Sorry, I've never done music production, but I also want to.
You want to audition for the voice?
Please, How long does that take? Does that take? For example, you've been given this song, and say, Simon, we think this song is gonna be good with your voice. It's a test, isn't it? And then also, like, how long would it take for you to work with the band and the vocal coach to you do? Is it the whole day thing? Maybe 5 hours, 2 hours?
No, actually, it doesn't take that long because they give you the song maybe 3 weeks earlier or 2 weeks prior the actual rehearsals, and you work with the song on your own, and then you go there to sort of brush it up and say, this is what I want, this is what I want to put, this is the beat I want. Actually, they play it live for you, and then they record the part and send it to you and say, go and practice and let us know what you want. If you want to add something or omit something, then let us know. So it doesn't take that long. I think you have like an hour slot with in
the rehearsal.
The whole thing, the whole rehearsal thing.
Right.
So it wasn't that long. Sometimes we will go to Manchester, but when you get to the next round, you go to London, Battersea. Battersea Studios.
Studios, yes, it's very famous.
That's also another place where we did lots of rehearsals.
Okay, why do you go to Battersea Studio for?
Because they film the second round there.
Oh,
they
okay. Yeah, Battersea Studio is quite massive. In fact, in my career, I've actually worked there. So but it's a wonderful experience. Wonderful place to work as well.
It is.
A lot of creative people, man.
Very.
You got to be up to your level. But I think it might be simple for you to say that it doesn't take that long, maybe because you're super talented, and then you could work out with all these things. But people start music at very different stages in their life. Some their aspirations at a very young age, and then by the time they get to really start the process, but you have been in the process because you've been in the children choir. And so, but maybe you could pick up a song very quickly. Maybe the band was easy to work with you because they could see that. That you already have a lot of experience. As a child, and then now as an adult, you're able to adapt those things into place. With someone that is just starting, perhaps is starting in the kind of late teen, it's a completely different ball game, isn't it?
It is. I think for the people that didn't grow up singing, it might have been a challenge to work with the band because that could be very
because that would perhaps the first time to work with a live band. Meanwhile, something you would have done with the choir.
I did that with the Singing Children of Africa, and it's funny because we did pure a cappella music. We didn't do any instrumental, but I was part of a band in my church.
Yes.
And I think that gave me a lot of experience as well as an independent singer of right now. So that gave me lots of experience.
I tell you what, I think you'll be a brilliant mentor to a lot of really young aspiring artists, especially artists from our communities here in Scotland. Let's hear one of your songs, and this is original material from Simon Sims.
Thank you.
Simon is still here, so we still got about 7 minutes with him. So if you want to phone the studio live to ask Simon experience, if you're an aspiring musician, or if you are a musical evangelist like me, you can call the studio live. The number is 01415302787. That's the number to call. We're also asking the question today about the new Scottish government law, which is in place now for a week, and about the hate crime law, which is now enforced in Scotland. Would the hate crime law now enforced in Scotland stop racism? To join the conversation, number is 0141 530 2787, or you can text or WhatsApp us on 045 990 6822. So we got a text message earlier from David Chedemaya Mana, who is he's a keen listener of the show and follows the show a lot and contributes a massive contribution. Each week he tries to make a contribution. And David sent a text saying hate crime must include all hate, the focus on racism. He's wonder why the focus is on racism. That's what the message says. Where have the others gone? Which is the other hate. Other hate sort of offensive language. Hatred cannot be stopped by law, according to David A. Chedimana. So again, he cited some example. So well-meaning legislation, but without compliance, is meaningless. That's David's assessment of the new hate crime, which is now enforced in Scotland. Let's listen to Simon Sims. There is by Simon Sims, and Simon is here in the studio with us. I mean, that's one of your very, very old songs. You're saying, yeah. So when was this done? And this is kind of a more gospel.
It's a gospel song. It's called "It's All About You, Jesus." This was released in 2020.
Wow.
2020.
So this song is 4 years old.
4 years old.
We need to upgrade our library, guys. Come on. Simon's done some stuff. You need to feed that into the studio. Yes, you need to feed that into the studio. Yeah. Yes. No, that's wonderful. So, I think I don't know what's happening. I see they're getting some feedback there. So I mean, what has been the reception? Obviously you had really good feedback from the coaches when you were on The Voice, so since leaving The Voice, what's been the reception back in Scotland, in Glasgow?
I think obviously when you're in that kind of a show, you have so many expectations because it's a bigger show,
yes,
and it's got a very massive audience. You sort of have expectations. You think you will reach for the stars and become like, but it's difficult nowadays because there's so many talents. There's so many talents out there.
Yes,
it really is. But I feel some people are looking for specific things in singers, and I think for me, I'm blessed enough, and I'm very grateful to God that maybe they see something in me, and I think that show has given me a platform that I didn't have before the show. Yeah. And I'm able to get like lots of gigs. I'm getting booked.
You're getting booked.
Lots.
Proper professional
fee, and but it's I enjoy, as much as I enjoy basking, but getting booked with like professional gigs.
Yes, is that is that weddings?
Weddings and festivals.
Okay,
I do a lot of charity gigs, and I love giving back.
Yes, of course.
Being raised in a charity.
School, I mean, because you've been a beneficiary of good causes.
Yeah.
So you also want to kind of contribute back. Yes, absolutely.
So I have so many charity events lined up for this summer.
Wonderful.
So looking forward.
You're a busy man.
I'm grateful.
Yes. No, we give all thanks to God for the opportunity, and I think it's a long way as well, isn't it? It's a long way. Yeah. How do people back home in Kenya see you now?
I don't know really, because
you've not been back since after The Voice?
Never been. I think
by the time you arrived there, they'll put you red carpet. The president
probably, hopefully I get received by lots of people at the airport.
Yes. yes. I think it should.
I think having been here since this whole TV show thing
happened,
I don't really know what's going on in Kenya, but I know I get lots of messages, encouraging messages from singers that I looked up to when I was younger in Kenya, and also my family is very proud
of what you've done,
of what I've accomplished.
No, they should be,
so far, and it's just very. I love it. It makes me really, really, really emotional to think. I started from nowhere, especially in Kenya, where the industry is very tough and it's very much difficult to get to where you want to be. But you get recognized in a place where people don't even know you, in a foreign country like this.
Absolutely. It's just, where there's a lot of massive talent base as well.
Yes, exactly.
And people with the kind of access and resources that they can use to get into that on that kind of show. But you just being picked out to be on that show is a massive achievement.
It is.
It is also a significant and very symbolic achievement for our community as well. So we I think from a personal point of view, it's a huge inspiring story.
It is.
It is also a massive achievement for our community that we need to be proud of. Yeah, and so when you talk about bookings, I wonder whether you get booked by in African. No. Okay. Well, you know what? I was going to ask you that question. Until, I think, yeah. Well, you know what? I am a strong music lover.
Yeah.
I like music.
I can tell.
Yeah. And I've spent. Well, I don't know if I've shared this story with you, and which I can share with other audience. So people that have known me for a while, they know that I was a DJ for a very long time.
Oh wow.
Yes, I spent 15 years. Listen, 15 years of my life.
Oh wow.
Working in nightclubs and events as a DJ.
Wow.
So I've listened and heard all sort of music from start off, from people that are just trying, from those that really cannot do anything in music, but they just have the love for music and think that they can hold the microphone and something will change. No. So what I mean by that, I've seen talent, I've heard talent, I've heard music from all different type of languages.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful. Please, we're going to sign off now. Thank you, Simon, so much. Simon Sims,
thank you so much
for your remarkable journey. Thank you so much for getting the time to come and share the story with us, with the Jambo Radio.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is home to you, by the way. So anytime, you're more than welcome. So I really look forward to, what the next step or the next stage for you is going to be.
Yeah.
But we're here to give you all the support and ensure that, what the voice has opened up for you is doors for people, for many people, and for many people that you're also going to support, to go through the process as a test and also going forward.
Thank you.
But I think I really appreciate you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me as well.
Yeah, excellent. That's good.